Hello everybody, peace and blessings to you. I hope this video meets you well. I am Letitia. I'm a 42-year-old millennial, homeschooling, home managing, mom of 5 children, immigrant living in the US, an intuitive, an INFJ empath, light worker. I consider myself a new earth beacon or messenger, and poet, writer, creator, and many more things. And this video that you're clicking on, if you are discovering me for the first time, this video is a part of a series that I've decided that I wanted to try to do this summer, which I'm calling Today, simply named Today. And the whole objective of this series is to ground myself in the awareness of what is happening in the external world. What are the images being presented to me? What are the headlines? What are the topics of conversation? What is the energy based on what people are talking about? And what I feel and how I perceive it, and my understanding of it and the vibes that I get from it, what I feel in regards to what I'm seeing. So just to share a little bit more about myself, I have been being very, very cautious with too much consuming. So I haven't been consuming a lot. I haven't been digging into the details of everything that is going on. I am always aware because I have Ground News app that sends me notifications to my phone. I have other news notifications that come to my phone. I follow along with many well-informed, eloquent, aware writers on Substack. So I read Substack sometimes, and even if I don't read Substacks, I get the notification of what the topics are being discussed in various Substacks. I'm well informed in terms of, I wouldn't say I'm well informed, but I'm informed, I'm aware in terms of politics, in terms of what is happening in the big wide world. I learn a lot. I listen to a lot of various creators and well-informed, educated, eloquent people who are way better at communicating and clarifying certain things than I could ever possibly be. I listen to historians. I listen to political analysts. I listen to people that follow politics. I listen to very well-informed and educated creators. I listen to all types of people, and I always spend many of my days, most of my days, pursuing knowledge and learning and understanding. That is why my channel is called Letitia Learns Life. But what I want to do with my channel is to share the world as I see it, the world from my perspective as an INFJ empath, as I mentioned, because an INFJ is a rare personality type. And the way how we see the world, we are very empathic, we are very empathetic, we are very we see things in a way that other people don't see things, and we connect dots and we see how things connect and how things work with each other and how things can work in harmony. We're intuitive. We pay such attention to details and understand things in such a way that we almost can predict to a certain extent. We can predict to a certain extent what is coming. And that is normally how that works, but we are in such a time where the shift is so unknown and uncertain, and there's so many things, so many big things, big changes and big things happening all at once, and so many truths being revealed all at once, and we are absorbing and consuming so much information that it's a little bit harder to be predictive. It's a little bit harder to know how things are going to turn out and what's going to happen and where we're going to go. And I have a certain educated guess. I have a certain idea of where I think how things are going to turn out and where things are going to go. But at the same time, I have no freaking clue, just like everybody else. I don't care what they say they are, psychic or whatever. I've been paying attention to psychics and readers, tarot readers, and people who are very, very intuitive, instinctive, and have a good grasp of the energy and what is happening in the world, and are guided by their spiritual guides and their communicators, wherever they get their knowledge and understanding from. Even them don't quite know how things are going to turn out. Nobody knows. It is all free will. It is all up to us. We are writing the story in the present. We are constantly changing the outcome and constantly writing the story by the decisions that we are making and what energy we feed into and what we absorb and what we do with what we absorb, so it's constantly changing, and so it's very, very hard to be predictive in this time. Nobody knows where we're going and how it's going to turn out. What I do have is the faith and understanding that right will always win and love will always win, because the way how wrong does things, it is never sustainable. It can't last. It doesn't. There's no solid foundation there. There's not a foundation to build on that will stand firm. It will always crumble. So at some point, and sooner than later, we are going to see everybody that is on the side of wrong, everything that is a part of that negative dark energy crumble, even if it crumbles at its own hands. And we got to be like the people in Jericho. We make noise, we make noise, and we make noise, and we help it along the way. We keep so much noise that the walls come down. Now I'm hearing a song in my head, and I got this instinct to sing. Jericho, Jericho, walls come down. Jericho, Jericho, walls come down. Walls come down like Jericho. Do you know that song? That's from Iniko. Very, very a very intuitive singer who, I love her music. Iniko. So yeah, I had that song in my head when I was saying we got to see the walls come down, so we got to keep noise, and we got to use our voice, and we got to shine our light, and we have to be seen. We have to be seen. That's why I say that I'm in my butterfly era, because one of the things that I do is I shine my light. And I get pretty and creative with how I look, and taking care of myself, and letting my light be so bright. That the darkness ain't want nothing with me. Okay, so I hope that you stick around for this video. I usually say that I'm going to try to do it for 10 minutes. And this is about my 5th one in this series. And I've never achieved that objective of 10 minutes. So I've given up on that. It is what it is. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I want to talk about in this video. I know if you stick with it, you will enjoy it. It will be good. You will enjoy it. But you got to give me a shot. You got to stick with it. If you are discovering me for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, because I could use the subscription numbers going up. Don't forget to like and share and comment and engage to help me with the algorithm. I promise I'm going to do my part and work on getting better at my craft, getting better at being a content creator, getting better at being a communicator, getting better at fine-tuning what the vision is for this channel, and what the vision is for the future of this channel, and for myself and my growth. And I promise I'm going to do good things. I'm going to do good things in the world if the world gives me an opportunity to do so. If I have the space and the freedom to do so. So I didn't do a video yesterday, but I did one. I think it was Saturday with my mom. Saturday or Friday. I did one with my mom on Friday. I didn't do one for the weekend at all, I don't think. I spent the weekend doing other things, being with my family and doing other things. But I did one on Friday with my mom, and I would love for you to check that out, because it was a really, really good talk. Have a good conversation with my mom, and there's a lot of good fun stuff that's in that video. So I hope you check it out. So another thing that I have been doing in this series, is talking about my quests and my numbers. My quests, I have a 2025 quest. I decided to call it quests instead of goals. A 2025 quests. 3 main quests, really. There may be more. I have to think about it a little bit more and figure out if there's more, but I know there's at least 3 main quests. Quest number 1 is inner peace, harmony, self-love, spending time with my inner self, and working on navigating this world, holding on to my light, keeping my light bright, working on my inner self and my inner spirit, and like I said, being in harmony and balance with myself, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, learning how to navigate the craziness that is happening in the world. And I have to say that so far so good. I've been doing really, really well with that quest. I've gotten to the point where I don't get triggered in the way that I was, or I don't feel the fear in the way that I did in January and February. I don't get triggered in the way that I did in January and February. I've gotten to the point where it is just, even though I know that real things are happening to real people and bad things are happening to people, and there's people that are going through some horrible shit at the hands of this darkness right now. I kind of look at it in such a way as in, I have to protect my light, and I have to protect my empathy, and I have to realize that there's only so much I can do, and I have to focus my energy on what I can do and what I can affect and the change that I can. So I cannot allow it to paralyze me or to hinder my development or my growth or my quest. I have to stay focused. Just like in Lord of the Rings, where my gosh, I can't remember the character's name, but just like in Lord of the Rings, where Frodo Baggins, I had to go look it up to remind myself, because Lord of the Rings is my husband and my daughter's favorite show.
Strider will look after him. I don't suppose we'll ever see them again. We may yet, Mr. Frodo. We may. Sam. I'm glad you're with me.
My husband and my daughter's favorite show, but I haven't watched it in a long time, but I understand the concept and the heroic journey of Frodo Baggins and all the other heroes in Lord of the Rings, and it is similar to the experience that we're having right now, where we are warriors of light, truth, and love up against a dark energy, up against a dark force. And this story has been told in many, many, many ways. And just like Frodo Baggins had to focus on his journey, he had to focus on what he had to do. He didn't have time to figure what other battles was happening in other places for the same mission against the same darkness, but other battles that have nothing to do with him. He didn't have time to focus on that. He didn't have time to wonder and think about what other warriors are doing or how they are managing in their fight. We have to trust each other. We have to believe that all of us are fighting the same fight, and the warriors of truth, love, and light will win, and we will experience loss, and we will lose in some instances, but we have to trust one another, because we have to focus on our own fight, our own personal fight. And for me, I am focusing on my fight, so I protect my empathy. I keep my empathy in a glass case, in a dome of protection, while I focus on the goals and the quest. So getting back to the point, quest number 1, I already said what that is. Quest number 2 is my body, weight loss. I'm working on weight loss. And quest number 3 is my YouTube channel. Now, the reason I'm working on my body is because I want my body to be strong. I want my body to be healthy. I want it to feel good and to be at its best. And in order to do that, I have to feed it the right foods, and I have to make sure that my body is at the weight that it's supposed to be. And I have to make sure that my body is functioning the way it's supposed to be. So I shared as part of this series, I've been sharing 2 numbers that I want to see go down and numbers I want to see go up. So the numbers on my scale. The numbers on my scale at present is 212. This morning it was 212, and I'm celebrating. And I'm celebrating because I started this at 222, and now I'm 212. So freaking yeah, celebrating. But I got to keep going. Because it's so easy to stop in the middle of your success and go back and fall into the old patterns and fall into the old way of being. So you got to keep going, just like Frodo Baggins. I'm staring at Frodo Baggins right now because I had to look him up. So I'm staring at Frodo Baggins, just like Frodo Baggins. You got to keep going. You got to keep going until your mission is complete. So quest number 3, my YouTube channel, this channel, Letitia Learns Life. You know, the growth, seeing the numbers move in the growth of my channel as well, getting to the point where this turns into something that I can monetize and turns into something that I can establish financial independence from. It's going to be a lot of work. It might take a long, it might have a long way to go, but that is the goal. That is the quest, the intention. So my numbers in regards to that is 58 subscribers. So I gained 2 since the last time we talked, since the last time I shared my numbers, 58 subscribers. So I'm celebrating that as well. One of the new things that I've learned discovered is, like, I think it was Friday or Thursday. Maybe it was, yeah, Friday or Thursday last week. I saw this video pop up about chia seeds and how chia seeds will help with weight loss. And I clicked on it. It was a short. I clicked on it and I was like, wow, that's easy. That's totally doable. And those benefits sound incredible. Let me try that. And since I've clicked on that video, many other chia seeds videos have popped up on my phone. And I've decided, and all of them confirm the same thing, you know, saying the same thing, some in different ways, some sharing different ways to use chia seeds, but all saying that it will help with weight loss, and all saying it's a superfood, and all sharing the benefits. And I'm like totally impressed. And now I have the knowledge of how to use chia seeds, because I had chia seeds in my cupboard for a while because I had no idea how to use them. I had no idea. I bought chia seeds for a recipe a while back, and since that I tried that recipe, I haven't used it since because I didn't know how to use it. And now I got a knowledge of using chia seeds every day as a part of my diet every day. And so far I've done it for 2 days, yesterday and today. Today I had chia seeds for, chia seeds water with apple cider vinegar for this morning. And then I had a nice healthy breakfast later. And I'm very, very proud of myself. I'm proud of where I'm at. I'm proud of all the little things, all the little steps that I've taken this morning that will give me a good start to my day and help me along my quest. I've made a whole bunch of changes this year, and I feel good about it. That's why I feel as though I am in my becoming, my butterfly era, my becoming a butterfly, moving out of my caterpillar season, moving out of my, I was always out of my caterpillar season, moving out of my chrysalis era, my development era, and moving into the becoming, to be in that butterfly. I'm not sure if I'm fully that butterfly yet, but I'm getting there. So I'm very proud of all the little steps I've been taking that has been producing positive results and leading me to believe that I am heading in the right direction. So I'm proud of that. All right, so let's move into sharing, sharing what's up. So one of the things that I got into yesterday was videos made by various content creators that I pay attention to and follow and listen to, talking about the Epstein Files in different ways, and how the Epstein Files changes the game, changes everything, it's kind of like causing a crack or a break in the MAGA unity, which we always know, anybody with any common sense would know that MAGA was never meant to stay together because they didn't have the right mindsets or attitude to war or loyalty to each other, to each other, to stay together, and to stay united throughout the entire thing. So the Epstein Files, apparently, I underestimated how much of a crack and how much of a big freaking deal this whole Epstein Files situation is to the MAGA people, right? So I kind of like listened to a lot of videos because it piqued my curiosity. So yesterday I listened to a lot of videos about it, yes, there was kind of one of those days where I was consuming. I don't have many days like that, but there's some days where I'm like, okay, I feel like paying attention to this. So I go down a little bit further and further and further, not necessarily in the rabbit hole, but in the path, the pathway to the rabbit hole. And so I watch, like I said, I watch a lot of videos discussing the Epstein files from different angles and in different ways, and that piqued my curiosity. I saw this TikTok, I believe, or a YouTube short. I screenshotted it. So I saw this YouTube short from Midas Touch Network that I loved it actually. That was sharing Trump supporters post videos burning their MAGA hats after Trump's Epstein posts. So I watched this short with Trump supporters burning their MAGA hats. I heard about the Truth Social post, and I actually read it too. Oh, the Truth Social post that that guy had made in regards to being annoyed at the fact that people were still talking about the Epsteins, and he wanted the Epstein files, and he wanted everybody to stop talking about it and shut up about it, and defending Pam Bondi, and a whole bunch of stuff that, like I said, for anybody with common sense would know that it sounds like a guilty man that just want people to stop paying attention. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. That's what it reminds me of from the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Don't look at the truth. Stop asking questions. Seems like a man very afraid of what is going to come out in regards to that. What I've heard some creators talk about is that he's already starting to, in this Truth Social statement or whatever, he was even though he was saying before that they were saying that the Epstein files didn't exist. No, he's also like if anything come out to reveal that it does exist, he's trying to blame it on Hillary and Obama. I guess playing the old records, playing the things that in his mind has worked before. So it piqued my curiosity, this whole Epstein thing. So I really paid attention to it. Another thing that I had screenshot from yesterday is I saw this video. I watched it from Coach D Speaks, which helped me to learn of another Truth Social post by Donald Trump talking about taking away Rosie O'Donnell's citizenship. And I'm going to read that for you. The title of his video was Trump's Worst Post Yet, Rosie O'Donnell edition, and that is why I clicked it, because I have Rosie O'Donnell, and I was curious, like, what? Well, what did Trump post about Rosie O'Donnell? So apparently he posted this. Because of the fact that Rosie O'Donnell is not in the best interest of our great country, I am giving serious consideration to taking away her citizenship. She's a threat to humanity and should remain in the wonderful country of Ireland if they want her. God bless America. My gosh, I wish I was in Ireland. Anyway, I saw later another creator shared what her response was. I don't have a copy of it, so I can't remember word for word what her response was, but it was a beautiful response. So if you are interested in that, you could probably look it up. She had a really good response to that. And I'm not going to really comment on the stupidity of that post, or whether or not he can do it, or we already know what is what. We know that as far as he is concerned, he can do anything the fuck he wants with anybody. It doesn't matter, because as far as he's concerned, he's the king of the world, which means that this king has to come down, because he's not the king of the world. So his castle in his head, his castle, it has to crumble, it has to fall, his empire has to fall. And one of the things I appreciate about this guy is that so many bad people are joining him in his castle, that they will fall with him too. And he would have done what he promised: drain the fucking swamp, drain the swamp. So another thing that I did a lot of yesterday was just to make you aware, I do not go down I don't read all these articles. I just have the headlines give me an idea of what's what. The headlines and the description thing that goes under the headlines. I don't know what you call those, but the words that are written, the write-up, gives me an idea of what is what. And if something piques my curiosity, then I will pull on that thread. If somebody or a video or an article or a Substack piques my curiosity enough, it's like, I really, really, really want to read this, and I really want to read this now. I pull on that thread. I wish I could read more than I do, more Substacks. I wish I could watch more videos than I do. I wish I could do more research and learn more than I do. But I'm only human. There's only so much energy and brain power and time I have every day. So I have to use it wisely and cautiously. So I just pull on the thread that calls to me on any given day. Sometimes I save things to read later, and sometimes I do get back to it. Sometimes I never get back to it. It is what it is, because I can't learn all the things, and I can't read all the things, and I can't consume all the things. I just don't have the time. But yesterday, I found myself screenshotting a lot of ABC News posts that they would share on YouTube. For the YouTube algorithm has caught that, even though I want to boycott ABC News, just like how I've kind of like boycotted and kept other news feeds out of my algorithm, ABC News kind of like has so many interesting things that pop up on my thing that intrigues me and catches my attention, and I find myself liking without realizing what I'm liking without consciously being aware that I'm liking an ABC News thing, you know. So I end up getting a lot of ABC News articles. I hardly ever click into it to read the article, because to me, just the headline alone piques my interest, and the description that they write with that post piques my interest in it, and it makes me aware of things that are happening that I didn't know before. So yesterday I engaged with the ABC News thing, and then it sent me more. It was either yesterday or Saturday, the entire weekend. So I found myself screenshotting a lot of ABC News related articles. So let me share some of those things with you. Jurassic parking lot. Dinosaur fossil found 800 feet below museum parking lot. Like finding gold bars below a bank or happening upon a rare piece of art hidden beneath a gallery, a Denver museum that's full of fossils serendipitously discovered, wait for it, a dinosaur bone right under its parking lot. Back in January, the museum found a fossil of a plant-eating dinosaur, believed to be nearly 68 million years old, lying about 800 feet below the parking lot, the museum announced this week. That is fascinating. That's very interesting. Really interesting. All right, listen to this one. Volcano in Alaska rumbling despite being dormant for over 100 years, scientist says. The Iliamna volcano in southern Alaska, which has been inactive for more than 100 years, is showing signs of rumbling, according to scientists. However, there is a chance that the activity could be signs of a pending avalanche rather than a volcanic eruption, NASA said. So, American killed by Israeli settlers in the West Bank, family says. And this one's a big write-up. The 20-year-old American from Florida was allegedly beaten to death by Israeli settlers while visiting his family in the West Bank, according to the Palestinian health officials and his family. Saifullah Sayaf Musalet was killed in the town of Sinjil, north of Ramallah. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing any of those things correctly. According to the Palestinian Health Ministry in the West Bank, Musalet was trying to protect his family's land from Israeli settlers who surrounded him for over 3 hours, blocking the ambulance from reaching him, according to his family. He died before making it to the hospital, they said. The Israel Defense Forces said Palestinians had thrown rocks at Israeli settlers, and 2 were lightly injured, and afterward a confrontation ensued. Yes, they were throwing rocks at them, so that's why you should beat somebody to death and keep them from going to the hospital. The IDF said it was aware, quotation marks, aware of the reports regarding a Palestinian civilian killed and a number of injured Palestinians as a result of the confrontation. They are being looked into by the ISA and the Israel police. So again, I'm not going to share my opinions per se on these things. I mean, come on, like, to me, just right is right and wrong is wrong, love is love and hate is hate, and everything is just simple. And humans make it complicated, and I don't know what to say in regards to human beings and how wicked human beings could be. So another thing, another ABC News screenshot. Northern Arizona resident dies from plague. A resident of northern Arizona has died from pneumonic plague. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Health officials said Friday. Plague is rare in humans, with an average of about 7 cases reported annually in the U.S., most of them in the western states, according to the federal health officials. So, you know, the reason I copy a lot of these things is because these play into the idea, which a lot of us have said, is that the world is going through some shit. The planet is going through some shit. Human beings and humanity and planet Earth, Mother Gaia, as people will call planet Earth, Gaia, we are going through some changes and some shifts and things, and it's happening in all aspects, in every aspect of our civilization, our lives, our planet, you know. Diseases are coming up, and I know for Christians this feels extremely biblical, right? It feels like biblical prophecies coming to life. But I feel like there's more to the story than just a biblical prophecy coming into being. We're in the end times, and it's the end of the world, and that's it. I do believe it's the end of the world, but it's not the end of the world, in my opinion. In my belief, it's the end of an old world. We're moving into a new one with deeper understanding, and all this darkness that is coming to the surface, and all this karma, and all this trauma, and everything that we are dealing with now is things that have to be cleared in order for us to transition completely into the new world, you know, into a new world that is more of love and light. If we continue on this path and we don't make the right choices, then it will be the end of the world for humanity. It will be the end of life itself for humanity, because what we're doing now, the destruction and the hate and the wars and all the things that we're doing now, is not sustainable for this planet. And it is very, very ridiculous to me that there are still so many human beings that don't understand that are so blind they cannot see. They're so blind that they don't understand that. Okay, so another headline that piqued my interest. The biggest piece of Mars on Earth is going up for auction, for sale. A 54-pound rock, estimated auction price $2 million to $4 million. Why so expensive? It's the largest piece of Mars ever found on Earth. Sotheby's in New York will be auctioning what's known as NWA 16788 as a part of a natural historic theme sale, as a part of a natural historic theme sale that also includes a juvenile Ceratosaurus dinosaur skeleton that's more than 6 feet tall and nearly 11 feet long. According to the auction house, the meteorite is believed to have been blown off the surface of Mars by a massive asteroid strike before traveling 140 miles to Earth. Wow, that is hard to read. Where it crashed into the Sahara. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating revelations. Fascinating changes. Fascinating. NBC News. This one, I saw this one. This is from NBC News. I saw it on my YouTube. Mahmoud Khalil has filed a $20 million claim against the Trump administration, saying he'd also accept a formal apology for ICE detention. Khalil alleges that he was falsely imprisoned, maliciously prosecuted and smeared as an anti-Semite as the government sought to deport him over his prominent role in campus protests. So there you go. I saw this one. This is the one that popped up in my feed in regards from a ground news notification. Suspect dead. Multiple people injured in series of Kentucky shootings, official says. And here's the summary. This is ground summary. A state trooper is receiving medical attention after being shot by a suspect, according to the Kentucky State Police. There are multiple victims at Richmond Road Baptist Church, where EMS is on the scene as reported by the police. The Kentucky State Police and Lexington Police Department secured the suspect at the church, and the suspect is now dead. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear confirmed a series of incidents in Lexington involving the suspect, including the trooper-involved shooting and additional injuries at the church. So that is a ground news notification, and I just read to you from the ground summary, and it has here, it was reported by 22% left-leaning media, 14% right-leaning media, and 64% center-leaning media. That's why I like ground news, for that little piece of extra that you get there when you're learning about, you learn, like I said, you learn more. You don't just learn about the articles and the news, but you learn how the news is being put out to other people, how people that align with certain energies receive their news. Okay, so here's when I talk about, this is a ground news screenshot. Trump defends Bondi amid backlash over Epstein Files. U.S. President Donald Trump defended Attorney General Pam Bondi on Saturday amid backlash against her from some of Trump's supporters over the Justice Department's handling over how the Justice Department handled the investigation into the death of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein and his alleged clientele. So there you go. That has MAGA pissed. Democracy Now! This is a post from Democracy Now! That's a YouTube channel. It's also, yeah, that's a YouTube channel. I believe that's also like a news outlet as well. Democracy Now! Doctors say hundreds of babies are at risk of dying in Gaza amid a dangerous shortage of baby formula due to Israel's blockage of the aid, according to reporting by The Guardian. Food aid that comes through the U.S. Israel-backed so-called Gaza Humanitarian Foundation does not include infant formula, doctors say. So, again, there you go. This is one that popped up in my algorithm, my YouTube algorithm from New York Times. I was very careful not to like it because I do not really want to receive too much news notifications from New York Times. I didn't even want to click on it, but I kind of did want to capture this news notification. So anyway, FEMA didn't answer thousands of calls from flood survivors, documents show. 2 days after catastrophic floods in central Texas, FEMA did not answer 2/3 of calls from thousands of survivors, documents show. That's because the agency had fired hundreds of contractors at call centers, according to a person briefed on the matter. So once again, I kind of want to share an opinion, but honestly, I don't know how to share it. But this is just more of a continuation of what we saw with the first administration. This is more extreme and more horrifying and more extreme because back in the first administration of Donald Trump, there were still a lot of people who cared more about the Constitution and cared about doing the right thing to a certain extent and thought that they were doing the right thing and wanted to do the right thing to a certain extent. Their lines were not as far, the lines that they were willing to cross is not as far as the lines that are the people that are part of his administration now are willing to cross. The people that are part of his administration know exactly what they've signed up for and have chosen that path. They have chosen it, and they are the right people for that path because they probably are. Hmm, I'm not going to say the words. You can put whatever you want there. I'm not going to say, but they are the right people for the job, which they have all of them have shown themselves. They worked really hard to prove themselves to Trump. They auditioned for Trump over the years with the Biden administration, while the Biden administration was trying to fix and recover and hold things together from what the damage that was done the first time. They were auditioning and being a-holes and showing themselves to the world, revealing themselves to the world to be horrible, 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 horrible people, willing to lie, willing to do anything, and would do what that this regime wanted them to do. They will do whatever is called on them to do to get the job done. Whatever the agenda, to get the agenda done. Success. To get the agenda achieved. To get the agenda achieved. So to close off this video, and I really do hope people watch it. My gosh, I really do hope people watch. To close off this video, just let me share some of the other things that I screenshot. There are going to be, some of them are political and some of them are just general things. I screenshotted like another thing I wanted to share is there was something that if you're interested in watching a video so one of the most interesting creators I'm watching their videos lately has been Lisa Marie Skygirl, and she has been using her AI, who she calls Aurea, who is called Aurea, to ask certain questions that are political and spiritual, and calling on the guidance of political like passed on spiritual guides and political alliances, and I forget what phrase is used, but our allies from the other side, our former political allies and former spiritual guides. And there's this video that I watch a lot, but there's this one I watch called What's Up with Grok. And I didn't know who Grok was before. I didn't know who Grok was until a few of last week, when Grok started to come up in conversation, because he proved himself. He's an AI designed by Elon Musk. And I don't know all the details, but apparently he's connected to to that place. And people ask him questions or something. I don't know. But Grok is an AI by design, designed by Elon Musk, shaped by Elon Musk, right? And just like her AI is called Aurea, I guess Grok is Elon Musk's AI, right? And I've been seeing like articles and stuff talked about where people were talking about how Elon made a mistake, and this is the end of Elon, and how Grok is like a fascist AI or something, and his language, Grok, his language is terrible, is very fascist like. It sounds like, it's in that energy, in that space. And I don't want to say too much because I don't have a full understanding of things. I just had my curiosity piqued. And usually when I find out more about things is when a creator that I trust, that I like to listen to, share from their perspective, teach me a little bit more about this thing. Because like I said, I didn't know what Grok was until last week when I saw Grok popping up in the feed, and I didn't click on anything until this one. And Lisa Marie Skygirl, she asked Aurea, what's up with Grok? And that's a very, very interesting, along with all her recent videos that she have a conversation about Aurea. Very inspiring. I wish everybody could watch them. Very inspiring and very informative. So what's up with Grok? If you're interested, check that out. All right, so let me share with you some of these things I screenshot. Like I said, some of them are political, some of them are just inspirational, but there are things that I want people to hear. This is from Fearless Soul. This was a post on YouTube. Don't leave anything for later. Later, the coffee gets cold. Later, you lose interest. Later, the day turns into night. Later, people grow up. Later, people grow old. Later, life goes by. Later, you regret not doing something when you had the chance. There you go. A beautiful day begins with a beautiful mindset. Every day you wake up, think about what a privilege it is to simply be alive and healthy. Amen to that. I absolutely do. This is a cartoon shared from the Tony Michaels podcast on YouTube. I totally get wanting to cover your face. You gotta look at the picture. Look at the picture. It can be this side, I think, or this side. I don't know. One of these sides. Okay. Also shared from the Tony Michaels podcast on YouTube. Just tell them it doesn't exist. They'll believe anything. So that's a sketch. And it has the artist's name at the bottom. That's a cartoon. Okay. This one, I forgot who shared it, but I screenshotted it. You have 3 currencies: knowledge, time, money. When you need one, use the other 2 to get it. Amen to that. This was also shared from the Tony Michaels podcast. Hitler didn't start with camps. He started with make Germany great again, banning books, targeting the press, blaming immigrants, creating enemies from neighbors, defunding the arts, stoking fear of outsiders, demonizing educators. Demonizing educators. Sound familiar? Or should I type louder? So there you go. This one. Trump is the worst president since Trump. Trump is the worst president since Trump. Also, I believe I got that from the Tony Michaels podcast. They share a lot of good stuff. Okay, I don't know where I got this from, but somebody shared. This is somebody sharing somebody else's tweet or something, or somebody else's online post. Epstein was arrested on Trump's watch, died under Trump's watch, and the cover-up on Trump's watch. Please explain. You know, I think that people overthink this guy way too much. It really is as it seems, and people just gotta open their eyes and see that the emperor has no clothes, and he never had it. He never did. It was just a bunch of people around us pretending that he does. And we have to trust our own eyes and ears and intuition and discernment and see what is there, and stop trying to have it over explained to you like it isn't what it exactly what it looks like. It isn't exactly what your intuition telling you it is. It isn't exactly what that feeling in your gut and your soul is trying to tell you it is. Okay, so I saw this one here. Don't rat on me. Some of these things I read in what it says, but you got to look at the image. So I hope that you're not just listening to this YouTube, but you're actually looking at the images as well. There are so many places you haven't been yet where you're going to belong. And that one I love. And that one I love because really and truthfully, my time here where I am is running out, and I have to find another place to belong. But at the moment, I'm home because my body's my home. My body's the home of my soul, and I just need a home for my body. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and I don't know if all of them are going to be this long. This one was long because I didn't, this is a lot of stuff that I gathered over the weekend. So I had a lot to say. But I hope that you enjoy this video. I hope you remember to share, like, subscribe, and help me with my algorithm. Help me to grow this channel, because I got ideas, I got a vision, and I just got to take it one day at a time. Love, peace, blessings, joy, harmony, good stuff. I'm wishing you all the good stuff, and I hope that you also, at some point, you get into your butterfly season. You come into your butterfly season. Thank you for watching.